I've reached probably an insane level of obsession when it comes to the Artemis 2 mission. And I don't think I had ever been obsessed with space in this way before. Like, yes, I was obsessed with the fact that there have been so many correlations with space and human biology. Like, I think that is extremely fascinating, which I'll probably go into a rant in a couple minutes. But, like, I think it's really, really interesting how the Artemis 2 mission has somehow unified a lot of people, and how these four individuals went to space and they did their thing, and they didn't even realize the effect that they had while they were in space. I think that's really cool. And it's just really got me thinking about, why is it that I'm obsessed with it? And why is it that, like, as a collective, we are all obsessed with it? What have we learned from it? How are we implementing that into our lives? So, yeah, I want to talk about Artemis. So, I guess to start, for those of you who don't know what Artemis is or have seen it online and, like, don't have all that much information, that's okay. A brief synopsis and summary is that it's the most recent NASA mission where they flew their spacecraft around the moon, marking the furthest that humans have ever gone. They lost contact with Earth when they did go around the moon, and so, like, there was I believe, like, a 40-minute period when, like, they were going behind the moon where they lost contact with Earth, and that was planned, of course. Like, they knew that they would lose contact, but that wasn't what I think was the most profound. Yes, they got so many cool scientific discoveries, they learned so much, and they're able to better implement the research that they now have for the future Artemis missions and for future space exploration. But what I think is the most interesting thing that we are all obsessed with is the almost philosophical and psychological findings, maybe is the right word to put it, like the philosophies and the change of perspective. That's the word. The change of perspective that these four individuals had upon leaving Earth and getting further away from the place that they called home for so long. So these four individuals went further than anyone else in space and really made a difference, I think, for the mass majority of the public with their psychological observations. These four individuals, they were Reed Weissman, who was the commander, Victor Glover was the pilot, Christina Koch was the mission specialist, and Jeremy Hansen was also a mission specialist. Fun fact, Jeremy Hansen is Canadian. But I think while they were in flight, they were able to share with us so many shifts and changes in their perspective, and we were able to almost get access to it in semi-real time. Of course, there's delays and whatnot, but we were able to get some really cool insight while these individuals were still in space. One of the most critical ones I think that they were able to point out to us is that at the end of the day, we're more alike than we are different. We are all humans, and we're all on this planet called Earth, living and trying to figure out this thing called life, and that's the greatest gift. And I think what's really, really interesting is they went further than anyone. They went further away from home and realized that the thing that was the most important was each other. They went so far just to realize that the most important thing was each other, and I think that really stuck with me. I also was deeply inspired by Christina Koch and her influence. I was on TikTok and I was watching all the edits. They were all on my For You page, and I loved every single one of them. I probably saved 50 of them, and I found it extremely inspiring to see how Christina Koch was, like, getting people to go and get their master's degrees, and, like, these kids are now wanting to go be astronauts again, and there's a love for STEM again, and it's really, really cool. I saw this TikTok that was a compilation of all these women who were inspired by Christina Koch and what they were now doing after seeing that she went to space and was, like, the only female and in a group of really, really, like, incredible men, but, like, she was the only female, and how she really was pioneering a path and trailblazing a path for so many women. And she inspired so many people to go do more and kind of showed that there was a possibility for more. And I thought that was really, really cool. I feel like there's this new thing going on, like we need Christina Koch to tell us to lock in, like the generational kind of lock in. I think it's really cool that she's having that impact, and I think we need more people to have such an impact like that. It's really, really cool to see people pioneering and trailblazing a path so other people can follow, and I think Christina Koch absolutely did that. And so when these 4 astronauts came back down from space, I think I was quite sad that it was over, but they did a press conference, I believe the day after they landed, and it was an initial press conference. It was very short, maybe 20-30 minutes, and they were kind of talking about their key takeaways, and 2 of which I thought were really, really incredible were Christina Koch and Jeremy Hansen. Christina Koch was talking a lot about how on Earth we are a crew. We often think that we're more different than we are alike, and as a result, we create conflict and tension, but we are a team and we have the ability to make actual change if we work together. And I thought that was really profound. And she also was talking about how when she came back, the nurse, I believe, or whoever was helping her with her medical checkup and making sure she was good, asked to just hug her. And I thought that was really, really sweet, because I would A, do the same, but also B, like, the impact of the work that she did went far beyond just people wanting to be astronauts. And I think that's what's really, really cool. These 4 individuals really did something that went far beyond just space exploration. And I think Christina Koch especially did a hell of a job pioneering and showing many women that they could do more. And that was a possibility, right? Because if you don't see it as a possibility, you will never see it as a possibility. Representation matters. And so I thought that was really, really cool. On the other hand, but like the second person I want to talk about is Jeremy Hansen, who said something incredibly profound. He was talking about how grateful he was. I mean, I think it was Victor Glover also was talking about how it was too much gratitude to have in one body. Like, how I wonder what that feels like. I really do. And I'm just amazed at their eloquence, at their ability to be so eloquent at describing what they felt. But Jeremy Hansen was talking about how grateful he was for the experience and how, the crew came back as like best friends and as family. And he was also, he said that he was now aware of the impact that they had, and that the crew, those 4 astronauts, represented something to people. And he had the 4 astronauts come up and like stand together, and he said, the reason you see something in us is because we're a reflection of you. Okay, I thought that was so beautifully said. And I actually had no words after that. I think in a lot of things that we become obsessed with, it often is we're seeing something in us, in other people, that we don't necessarily acknowledge in ourselves, whether that be good or bad. And I think with these 4 individuals, it was a lot of good. And I really, really loved that statement. And it was incredibly profound. The fact that we are so obsessed with them for whatever reason it may be, because it is different for every single individual. The reason we're obsessed with them in a way is because they're representing something in ourselves. They're a mirror for us. And so now I guess I want to go to space, because all these realizations that they had, I want to experience. Like it's one thing to hear it, right? And it's so beneficial to hear it, but I want to experience it now. Like I do. I really want to experience it. What's it like to go to space and travel around the moon? It's on my bucket list. I do have to get a master's in STEM. So that's my next step, I guess, after law school. I don't know. But it was so cool. And I really, really just, I don't know. That last statement, though, really stuck with me. And I mean, I guess to break it down on the spot, I'm really just inspired by the crew. First of all, their artistic skills with the cameras were incredible, but I think I'm most inspired by Christina Koch, as are a lot of people. Like, we're very inspired by her. I think a lot of my friends, like, we talk about her all the time. We're all graduating school and senioritis is so high, and we're just trying to like get through this last week of classes and finals, and everyone's like, Christina Koch would tell us to lock in. We must lock in. But more than that, it's just really inspirational to see a woman doing something that is traditionally or has been, reported as more of a male-dominated field. So I think that's really cool, and giving people opportunities to be seen and like be able to show that representation that's so important. I'm really inspired by. So yeah, that's something that I really love. But the fact that they've come up with such cool realizations has really stuck with me, and I hope it's, not something that goes away. We have trends, and I'm sure it will be, it'll die down, but I hope that we as a society don't forget it, because I think the realizations that they had and the lessons they taught us should not be forgotten. They shouldn't be forgotten, and I think there are some real keys there to helping us in the future. But yeah, that's why I'm obsessed with Artemis too, and I continue to be obsessed. Yeah, that's all I have for today. My little rant session. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you continue to learn more about space and space exploration. If you don't know anything about Artemis 2, there are so many videos up. I recommend just a good deep dive, a good hyperfixation. It's always fun. And yeah, other than that, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.